Welcome to Let Me Be Frank, Mike. I'm Mike, here with Frank. It was a great week last week, Frank. Absolutely insane week last week. We went 7-0 with our picks. Most of mine were leans, yes, but we're going to count them. 4-0 on the leans, 1-0 on my pick. Frank went 2-0 on his pick. We hit the Dakota Dog of the Week, hit the teaser of the week. I mean, we swept the board, Frank. We couldn't have done better if we tried.
It was a good week. I have to admit, Mike, and glad to be back this week again, folks. We're here, and we're ready to throw some picks at you guys again. Hopefully, we're successful again this week.
Let's go undefeated again. Let's kick it right off. I'm excited.
All right, I'll be honest with you, Mike. My first pick, I like Minnesota again, and I'll be honest with you, I really have no reason. The only reason I have is they're playing.
That's terrible.
I know it's a terrible reason, but sometimes in this game, you gotta go with your gut.
I mean, we say it all the time. Got to go with your gut. Said it last week. Worked out for us.
Yep, you gotta go with your gut. And Minnesota's playing Washington, and hey, look, Washington's played Philly tough. They played a lot of good games. They played some tough football. They've came across in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
I will say Wentz isn't out there. My arch nemesis isn't out there this week. They're still sticking with Heineke, so I mean that might be a knock on Minnesota. I don't know, Frank.
Well,
I know that you have this.
Here's my only fear of the Minnesota game. They go into a 3-game series after Minnesota. They're going to go play Buffalo next week, Dallas after that, then New England. And then it gets a little bit easier for them. Then they start playing. They play the Jets, Detroit, and the Colts. But my thinking is right now, Minnesota take advantage of this win against Washington, and then again, hope that they don't look to next week.
See, I'm not backing this pick, Frank, because when we were looking at the games, I kind of like Minnesota, but then Frank starts, throwing this out. He's like, yeah, I just don't know why I like them. I just like them. And I was like, okay, well,
again, sometimes my gut works and sometimes
I'll let you die by the swords you may or may not fall on. But
thank you very much.
But we'll see. Okay, maybe it happens. We had a great week last week, so maybe we just continue rolling and,
all right,
you get lucky with your
thank you. Okay,
with your pick.
I'll tell you also I like Buffalo. I know you gave me a hard time. What are you on about? I like this game. How could you not like Buffalo?
Laying 12.5, Frank. Jeez.
I got it at 13.5 yesterday.
Yeah,
I
don't lay that kind of points. I don't lay those kinds of points unless it's on I'll tease it down. Maybe you know why I don't like this Frank? Look at it. It's at 12.5. The books are begging you to tease this down below a touchdown. Doesn't that seem fishy to you? They're begging you to tease it down.
Every week so far this year has been fishy to me. I mean, these lines are crazy. But I think, like I told you earlier in the year, in the beginning, it's very hard to bet the NFL because the books don't know anything. We don't know anything. And now we're in the 7th, 8th weeks. Now we're seeing the true teams. The Buffaloes, the Philadelphias, and look at the teams that are not there, Tampa's and Frisco's now picking it up, I hope. So I don't know. I'll be honest with you,
Frank.
I think the Bills are one of the top teams, and they should have a field day against the Jets. Only because the Jets are in their division. You like the Jets because it's a divisional game.
You told me last week. You literally told me last week. You said, the Jets might be looking forward to this Buffalo game. This is the biggest game for the Jets in 20 years. I mean,
and Josh is going to take them down.
I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, it just seems like the books are trying to get me to bet this game. It's a strict stay away from me. I mean, I wish you luck, Frank, just like I wish you luck on the Minnesota game. I want to give out winners. I know you want to give out winners. I know you want to win.
Oh, I'm going to win. You can tell me all day. You laughed at me last week with New Orleans. You sat here right next to me and said, oh, I don't know. The Raiders are pretty good. They're going to come back. But I think it was 17-0. And for
Hey, Frank,
quarter.
why don't you tell the people if you bet New Orleans?
I did.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you didn't. Okay, well, that's my bad. All right, I think I've given you
I had to. And we did it the last minute, Sunday morning.
Oh,
at the
okay.
Casino.
Okay. Anyway, 2 picks for Frank. Not bad. Don't love either of them, but I mean, good luck. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I know Frank isn't a huge fan of my picks.
Well, before we go into your picks, I'm going to also explain something about the Jets. The Jets who have they beaten? They beat Pittsburgh. They beat Cleveland when they were down. They're 5-3. They've only scored 176 points and let up 159. And most of their points, again, coming back on the Cleveland game, came back on the Pittsburgh game, and they scored 27 points versus Green Bay. Wow. Look, we see what Green Bay's got. And 16 points against Denver.
I mean, Green Bay just shut down this Bills offense that you're so in love with. You can't really talk shit on Green Bay, but
that's because Buffalo's looking to the Jets because they know.
Oh, that's because Buffalo's looking to the Jets. Oh, here we go.
Always remember, look ahead.
Always looking ahead.
Always looking ahead.
But when it comes to that game, they're not looking at that game. They're looking ahead again.
They didn't care about Green Bay.
I mean, I think
they let Green Bay back in that game. They had them 27-10.
Frank, I think that they were taking Green Bay pretty seriously.
Well, Green Bay got a backdoor cover as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and you're about to get backdoor covered here again.
Are we looking at a bet?
Frank, I wouldn't touch the Jets with a dollar. This team is. I'm not saying that they're the bee's knees.
I think we do a dinner bet again, like we did in the first
week. No, we can find something on the board. We can do a dinner bet, but this is not the one.
You chicken.
I'm just saying that it's not really there. It's an opportunity for a backdoor cover.
Okay.
It seems the line seems fishy. That's all I'm saying.
We'll see Sunday night.
We'll see. Well, okay. Sunday morning, but we will see.
Okay.
All right, you want to move on to my picks?
Yes.
I got you fired up now, so I'm sure I'm going to hear so much crap about my picks.
All right.
But I'm gonna go straight with the leans right off the bat. Went 4-0 on my leans last week. Let's go 3-0 here. I got another 5 plays. I'm gonna start it off with all my leans are afternoon and then primetime Monday night. So let's kick it off with Seattle, Arizona, because I know you went to the Giants-Seattle game, lost your bet on the Giants, sadly.
Yes, but I also had Seattle -2.5.
Yeah, you middled it.
I was looking for a middle. And if the
almost
Giants,
got there.
I almost got there. Giants don't fumble the ball on the 5-yard line with 5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, you probably have it.
I had it.
I
but
agree.
I tell you what, once they fumbled it, I'll tell you what, folks. I know we live in Seattle, and I know that this is my first time I ever went to Seattle Stadium. And let me say this real quick: those people are loud.
I know, it's fun. I've been before too.
It was classic. But when they fumbled the ball and the way Geno Smith is playing right now, I knew they were going to get a touchdown. I didn't even think they'd get a field goal.
Here's the thing, Frank. This is why I like the Cardinals and not your Seattle Seahawks. This Cardinals team...
Not my Seahawks, but go ahead.
This Cardinals team, last time they played the Seahawks, they lost 19-9, okay? It was in Seattle, and you always tell me, Frank... You were like, I love these divisional opponents. I like that they split. They split. Definitely when one's at home and they win, the other one goes to their home and they win. Last time they played, DeAndre Hopkins was not on this Arizona Cardinals team. And he's a game changer. We've seen it from the jump. We've seen it from the very get-go since the first game he's been in there. He just changes his whole Cardinals dynamic. He gives Kyler Murray more options. He puts less pressure on the running game. We might get James Conner back this week, the dynamic running back from Arizona. I mean, listen, this line's at -2. So they're basically saying that on a neutral field, right? On a neutral field, Seattle would be favored. Well, Seattle, their defense looked very, very impressive last week. You would agree, correct? Their defense looked good? I mean, you were there at the game.
Yes, they did look good. But I don't know, I still have some
qualms
about that Giants game. I Barkley for 59 yards, and they didn't even run him.
I mean, they shut him to 20 carries, 59 yards. They shut him down, but you're right. They could have done a little bit more with Barkley. I think they could have thrown it to him out of the backfield a little bit more,
just
but
run him a couple times and then do the play action pass.
But the difference between this Giants team
Okay.
and the Cardinals team is that the Cardinals are pass first. They're going to tear up this Seahawks secondary. The Seahawks have rookies back in the secondary. I just don't think that, the
Well,
Seahawks can keep up with them.
I'm not arguing with that. I have to probably go with you because, like you said.
Oh, now you're going with me.
Well, no, I
Before
was.
yesterday when we were talking, Frank, you were saying
I just
Seattle.
No, I just say I like Seattle, and I'm starting to really like. I mean, after being there, I really do like Geno Smith. There's no doubt about it. But you still have to go back to the basics in the NFL.
Okay.
You got home and away and a home. I mean, look, I liked the Rams last week against San Francisco. Why did I like the Rams? Because Frisco had already beaten them. And I figured the Rams come back. And I'll probably make that bet every day, every year. I didn't bet that, of course, but that's how I look at it. So, no, I'm not arguing with you on this play. I think you got a good play.
Yeah, I
will
love
throw this at you, though. Arizona's 1-6-2 at home against
in the last 9 against the spread. Yeah, that makes me a little bit nervous.
Yeah, but that's with Wilson, so you got to throw that stat. Just throw that out the door.
Yeah, I mean,
I shouldn't even brought it up.
Arizona was this close to making my play. It's probably my strongest lean that I have up there right now.
Right.
But let's move on to the next lean, huh?
Yes, sounds like a plan.
Rams at the Bucks. Rams getting 3. I'm making this line at 2.5, Frank. So I got an opposite line here.
I do too. I have it Rams minus 3.5.
I'm thinking about taking the money line. I'm going to bet them a different way. You'll see that on later in the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tease that a little bit for you. But I like this Rams team. Listen, both of these teams have no rushing offense whatsoever. Okay? Let's just throw it back to the last time they played in the NFC divisional game last year. Rams against the Bucks. Akers did nothing on the ground. 24 rush attempts, 48 yards. Fournette also did nothing on the ground. I mean, these teams this year as well, they're struggling in the rushing offense department. I mean, look at the Rams last week. They play the 49ers. They go up, what was it? They looked like they were in control in the beginning of the game, and then they just let it slip right through their grasp because they can't run the ball. So all you have to do is defend the pass. But this Bucs secondary is beat up a little bit. I love Brady. I love that he's a Michigan man. I just love him. He's probably the greatest quarterback of all time, but he is not getting the job done, and his offensive line's doing terrible, just like you said.
Yeah,
and this Rams defense, I think, is going to get after him. Now, the reason it's a lean, because I really like this play as soon as I saw it right on the board. I want to see what's going on with Kupp. He got banged up at the end of the game last
he's questionable.
week. We'll see what happens with that. And,
So just without him, do you think Rams could put some points up on the board?
I don't know.
I don't think. I mean, last year they beat him in the playoff game 30-27. I definitely don't see Tampa putting up 27 points with that offensive line. I don't see the Rams putting up a lot of points without the Kupp. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, you sound like you're leaning towards the under there, and I don't think that's a bad play at all. Definitely, if Kupp's out, I mean, the under is probably going to drop. So if you want it now and you think Kupp's going to be out, do your due diligence. I don't think he's going to be out. I think he is going to play, which I think is probably going to push this lean to a play for me. But last year when they played, Gronk went off. Rob Gronkowski went off against these Rams. They don't have him this year. I just think the Rams are, what was it, Frank, 5-0 in their last 5 against the spread against these Bucks. I just think that Stafford, my boy Stafford, repping the Lions here, I think he's gonna show up, and I think they're gonna allow the Bucks to lose another game, 4 losses. I mean, it's tough. I wish Brady the best, but maybe he shouldn't have come back this year out of retirement.
Well, let's see how she flies.
We'll see.
I can't argue with you on this game either.
Okay.
I have no opinion, actually, but.
And my last pick, or my last lean, is going to be Ravens at the Saints. Now, I have this game at 4. The game opened up at 3. I'm looking at FanDuel right now. It looks like it's gone down to 2.5, juice to -115. I mean, moving from 3 to 2.5 is kind of a big move, even though it's only a half a point. But I still like this Ravens team. They just got Roquan Smith. They just got Roquan Smith, a star linebacker for the Bears. They gave up some decent draft compensation for him and A.J. Klein. And they're just trying to beef up this defense. And I think that it comes at a great time going against the Saints, who average 141 yards per game on the ground. And if you can shut down this Saints running game, and if you can shut down Alvin Kamara specifically out of the backfield, whether it's rushing or receiving, I mean, Andy Dalton's prone to mistakes. And I don't know if Winston's going to get the start here. I doubt it after Dalton had an impressive showing against those Raiders. But
Ravens are far, far from the Raiders.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm going with you on this game. Actually, by Sunday morning, I might even, like where I took the Saints last week, I'm going to take the Ravens probably Sunday morning when we get up there.
Yeah,
I'll probably tease it with something. I'm not sure yet.
And this Saints team, their defense looks good one week and looks bad another week. So I'm going to go that they're looking bad this week, and I don't think they can contain Lamar Jackson.
Line?
He's
3?
too dynamic.
Is that line still 3?
No, it's down to 2.5.
It's down to 2.5. Ravens are down to 2.5.
Yeah.
I think I'm not seeing it. I mean, I don't see the Ravens giving it up at the end of a game anymore. I think
we'll see. Even last game, they had me sweating against the Bucks because they're also on a little bit of mini bye. They go from Thursday to Monday, and John Harbaugh is 9-6 against the spread after a bye, so he's profitable for us against the spread after a bye. So why not give us another win, huh?
I probably, like I said, I'll probably look at that game.
Yeah, it's nice to see, if we win a couple Sunday, we can maybe, parlay our bet and hopefully not be chasing Monday night.
Is that a Monday night game?
It is a Monday night game.
Okay. What's the Sunday night game?
Titans Chiefs. I kind of like the Titans there.
12.5? Okay.
This Titans team can control the ground game. They can control the time of possession. Henry looks great last week. I know the Texans are the worst team against the run in all of the NFL, but I mean, this Chiefs defense, it doesn't leave me very impressed. So I think that Henry can do the same thing and pound it on the ground, control the line of scrimmage, give me a backdoor cover.
I was discussing this game with our producer, John, right before we started here. And we were talking about this game, and I says, 12.5 is a lot of points. But he made a point. He says, what's going to happen if the Chiefs go up 2 touchdowns real quick? Is the Titans going to stick with that run game, or are they going to have to start putting it up?
No, I think they will stick with the run game. They don't have much else. Definitely, if Tannehill doesn't play, Henry is your weapon. That's the guy that you have. You don't really have much on the wide receiver spectrum. Robert Woods is not looking great this year. So I think that you do kind of stick to the ground game. You try to tire out the defense, and you expect. Vrabel is a defensive.
If you keep the Chiefs off the field.
Yeah, that
would be the only way they work that and cover that 12.5. I think.
I think they can cover the 12.5. I mean, that's the game plan. That's the game plan.
That's a lot of points.
Run and D. That's the Titans.
Well, like I said,
that's the Titan motto.
I'm going to go with John's theory. You put up too many points too fast. Tennessee is going to have to start putting it to the air. I think they will.
But
that's my opinion.
Eventually at some point in the game you have to start throwing the ball if it's 2 minutes left in the third quarter and you're down 21. You're not just going to roll over.
No,
but
no. Well, again, I
don't think it'll get to that.
I think the whole game, Titans game is going to have to be keeping the Chiefs off the field. That bottom line.
Yeah, that's the game plan. That's always the game plan when you play the Chiefs. You don't want their offense on the field.
Very true.
It's true, right?
All right. Well, we're going to talk about, it's on our teaser. I think that.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
That was my teaser, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I want to talk about the Cincy game.
Okay.
You said we didn't check the updated line.
It's 7.5 now.
It's 7.5 now.
Yeah.
So I went from 8.5 to 7.5.
Yeah, after getting trounced by the Browns last night.
You know what? Remember, Cincy and Cleveland they're in the same division. We talked about this in our first and second podcast.
Here you go again with the same division as you're betting Bills at Jets.
Hey, I'm telling you, the Cleveland, what is that, the South? Whatever that division's tough.
It is tough.
And when they play each other, they're out for blood. And I'm telling you right now, Cincy, coming off of a loss, they had no shot against Cleveland. Was waiting for that game. And what I text you after that game? What did I text you? December 11th.
You did say that. As soon as the game ended.
As soon as the game ended, I texted him right away.
Sell your house, sell your car, sell your girlfriend if you have to, and put it all on the Bengals.
Put it all on the Bengals.
That's what
because
Frank
when
said.
they get back home, that is going to be one hell of a tough revenge game.
We'll see what the line comes out as, though, because, the line...
Probably Cincy -7.
Oh, whew.
I think, well, it depends on how,
It depends on what happens between now and then. You're right.
so yeah, we got a long way to go. I mean, December's another, well, it's not too much, 5-6 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see. But let me get to my two plays, and then we'll hit up the Dakota Dog of the Week, and we could talk about Cincy because
No,
it's on our
teaser.
teaser.
It's on our teaser. Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So my two for sure plays are Miami at Chicago, and I'm going right back to the well, just like I said last week with the Dallas game. I think this Detroit team is better than Chicago, and Chicago's been pretty impressive the last couple weeks. I mean, they hung a 29 on the Cowboys. Who saw that? Who thought that game was going to be the highest scoring game in the NFL last week, by the way? Who saw that? I don't think anyone saw
I'll
that.
be honest with you, I was at the game, and I had to look at the scoreboard, and I saw, and of course, I had Dallas teaser with another team, and I was like jumping for hoots. I'm like, all right, I got this game too. But how did Chicago score 29 points?
I don't know, but I still think
Where'd that come from?
And they just got, I will say this, Frank, they just got Chase Claypool, the wide receiver for the Steelers. There's a ton of trade deadline deals going on today because it's the trade deadline and everyone's trying to beef up their team for a playoff push. So the Steelers traded Chase Claypool to the Bears, but I just want to say something. Mostly on offense for me, just like we saw with Christian McCaffrey, you're going to see these players come in, and they're coming in, Tuesday. He's probably going to fly in there tonight, maybe tomorrow morning, and he's going to get there. He's got to learn the playbook. He's got to learn, chemistry with his team, chemistry with his quarterback.
They won't start him this week.
I think that he'll play, but he'll be more of a decoy. So I think that these trade deadline deals, specifically with the offensive players, the defensive players, it's a little bit easier for them to plug and play. But for the offensive players, you won't really see them explode until the following week, like we saw with Christian McCaffrey this week.
Okay, so
that doesn't really scare me. This line's at 5. The Dolphins line against the Lions was, 4, 4.5, 3.5. It moved all around. But you're basically saying the Bears are half a point or a point better than the Lions, better than my Lions. I don't see it.
I had your Lions on my contest last week.
I know.
I lost 2 games by half a point.
By half a point. If you would have got it where the game closed at, you would have at least
the Atlanta
pushed.
game too,
But I'm going right back to the well. This Bears team is not as good as that Lions team, and you're basically going to give me the same spread for...
Was it 5, you say?
Yeah, it's 5. You're going to give me the same spread for this game? I don't see it. Dolphins, like I said, it's easier to plug and play defensive players. They got the biggest player this trade deadline in Bradley Chubb. I mean, he's a menace on the defensive line, and this Bears offensive line is once again terrible. So Chubb's going to have a field day with them. This Dolphins defense is just going to have a field day with them. And you know where the Dolphins defense struggle is in the secondary, and I don't think Fields can do it.
That's not bad. Miami, they were looking, how hot were they in the first 2 or 3 games before?
I know, and then Tua went down, and everyone's like, "Oh, we forgot about him." And then
now they're back. Now
they look good.
Now we're not going to forget about them.
They look good.
That might be another play for me. Come Sunday
Man,
morning.
you were just hopping on all my play. I mean, we went. Listen,
Well, hey,
we went 7-0 last week.
That's why we're together, because we bounce things off each other.
That's true, but we went 7-0 last week. So you take my picks, I take your picks.
I want to tell our gamblers out there too. It's good to have 2 or 3, or at least one other person that you do this with, because you get the bounce off of other people, your other friend or whoever that you're betting with, and sometimes they see injuries you don't see, some injuries you see, and it's like someone outside the box looking in your box.
Yeah, it's always good to bounce things off of people.
Yeah, so.
But let
All
me
right,
get.
let's go.
Last play.
Here.
My second for sure play is going to be Chargers at Atlanta. Chargers laying 3, road favorite. I know, it's not a popular pick, but this Atlanta team, they should have lost last week, Frank, against the Panthers. And I don't care what anyone says. I'm not high on the Panthers. I get that they looked good the last 2 weeks. I don't care. Chargers team coming off a bye. Herbert's been pretty good off a bye. He's healthier now after, he's dealing with that rib injury. I mean, they don't have Mike Williams, sadly. He's down with an injury, but they do get their number one wideout, Keenan Allen, back, which is huge for them. It's Herbert's favorite target by far. They still have Eckler out of the backfield. This offense is dynamic. And Frank, when you and I were talking about this game, you were saying, I love the Chargers defense in the beginning. And when we went through our books and at the beginning of the year, we looked down the line and we were looking through every single game. We looked every single game at the start of the year trying to find edges. And we said at the beginning of the year, well, you said specifically you had big bet. Huge bet.
My huge bet.
Big, bold letters right in Mark Lawrence's playbook. Which
I'm going to show our folks what he's talking about. This is Mark Lawrence's playbook. I've been actually using it. Says 30th anniversary. I've been using it for 25 years already. I mean, I call it my football Bible. I live with Mark Lawrence's book. We do go down the line, and I'm going to show our folks out there. This is the beginning of the year of the Chargers, and it says right there, at Atlanta, a huge bet.
And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to bet it. I'm going to stick to our guy.
I agree with him. I'm going with, I like his Chargers bet.
Man, you like all my plays.
Hey, maybe that's pretty good, actually, I think.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. I don't know. But I do like this. I do like this Chargers team. We got a huge bet on it. They're a dynamic team. Their offense looks good. We thought that their defense would be a little bit better this year, but their defense is still good. And I think that this Chargers defense can shut down the running game of the Falcons. I don't think Algier is that impressive, nor do I think Huntley's that impressive. Mariota, I mean, he's good with his legs, but if he doesn't have that running game, he's not the dynamic quarterback that can pass all over your team. And I think that's where you can exploit this Chargers defense is in the secondary. So I like the Chargers here. I'm laying a field goal, so even if they win by a field goal, I push. Atlanta shouldn't have even won their last game. I think this is a huge letdown spot for them. They're exhausted. They're emotionally drained. Chargers coming off a bye, rested. Bang the Chargers, Frank. You want to move on to our Dakota Dog of the Week?
Yes.
Okay, and Frank, here we go. Going against me. Seattle money line. That's who you're taking for our Dakota Dog of the Week.
Yes.
I wanted to go back to back. So you're either going to make me lose one of my leans or we're going to win the Dakota Dog of the Week.
I'm really sorry.
You want to go on that? You want to go?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Seattle.
You want to go bet? You want to do a little dinner bet on that one?
Now you want to.
I said we could find a game, Frank. I think this is our game. You have them up there as the Dakota Dog of the Week. You think they can win outright, so why not? Why not? I'll give you the 2.
No, you're calling 2.
That's what the line is. What do you want me to give you? You want me to give you extra points?
Yeah, I want the 3.5.
No, you're not going to get 3.5.
Why can't I have the 3.5?
That's not what the line is. The line is 2. The line is 2.5. That's what it opened at. Now it's down to 2.
Let's do 2 better.
All right. What do you want? You want? Okay. I have no faith in the Jets. You have faith in Seattle. Why would I take the Jets?
Well, why would I?
Because you have him as your Dakota Dog of the Week.
Why would I give you hey, it's a dog bet.
Oh my gosh. You're a pansy.
Oh, now he's calling me. I called you a chicken. You called me a pansy. I love this. All right, brother. Here's what we're going to do. I will give you the Jets in 10.
Jets in 10?
And
the spread's at 12.5.
And I'll take Seattle a pick.
No.
What do you mean, no? I'm going to pick.
And I'm giving you 2 points, and you're giving me 2.5 points.
I'm taking it at 10 points.
How about this?
It's a key number.
I'll give you.
That's I got to hear.
You give me Jets at 17. And I will take Cardinals 3.
Yeah, you're out of your mind.
Okay, fine. Anyway, sorry, guys.
Enough of this. All right.
Dakota Dog of the Week. Frank's taking Seattle money line. I hope he doesn't hit for my sake, but, at least it's kind of, a hedge. And I'm taking...
Who else?
Know it.
Yeah, betting with your heart. You know it. Betting with your heart.
The Detroit Lions. Listen, I know this Lions team can't close out games, but they're in every single game. This Packers team is unimpressive. This is the Lions' time. They're going to get up for this game. Campbell needs a win. I'm telling you. And
The
you know
Lions
what?
only
After the
3
Lions win
points.
this game, Rodgers, they're going to be calling for his head in Green Bay.
I think they're already called for his head in Green Bay.
Well, they're definitely calling for the coach's head, that's for sure.
Well, yeah.
But that's going to...
not his fault.
I think it is his fault.
Well, general manager.
You
might
build
have
that
a
team.
Yeah, you do. But general manager, he's the guy that's got to do some. He's been living off of Aaron Rodgers' back forever.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that.
So
They
there's
need
a
to get him
time
more
you
weapons.
make a move. All
But-
right, next, let's go to our teaser bet.
I will say our Dakota Dog of the Week is plus 460, 2-team parlay.
We hit that last week too.
We did. We had Washington, and you had... I had
New
Washington,
Orleans.
and you had New
I had
Orleans.
the New Orleans,
And we hit it.
And we hit it. Yes.
And we had our teaser of the week, which we'll get to right now. Rams. That's my choice. They're at 3 points, so I'm getting it to 10. I think that's plenty of points. Like you said, you don't think this Bucs team is going to be able to score that many points. So give me the 10 every day, all day of the week.
Yeah, I agree.
And you want to go into your pick a little bit here, Frank?
Yeah, I just think Cincy coming off of a loss against Cleveland, they're playing Carolina. They're at home. And we're bringing this down from 7.5. I mean, if I do a 6-point teaser, 1.5, I keep it under a field goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, since he's got this locked.
Yeah, and like
I'm even gonna give you a score. I'm gonna give you a score. In this game.
let's hear it.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Carolina's gonna come back in the fourth quarter, but I'm gonna go 35-14.
35-14. Wow.
Cincy gonna throw all over this team.
Wow. I can't follow you for that.
Should we write that number down?
35-14. Write it down.
I have a pencil.
I don't have a pencil either, but we'll write it down after. Okay. Well, I mean,
all right,
I just want to say one thing about that Bengals game. Like last week with the Patriots, with the Cowboys going against the Bears, everyone sees that Monday night game. Everyone saw the Bengals get crushed. The line moves down a point. This is an opportunity to find some line value because everyone has that in the back of their mind, saying Bengals just got crushed. Panthers should have beat the Falcons. Why are they favored by 7.5? Well, they're favored by 7.5 because they're the vastly better team. That's why. So I like the pick, Frank. I like the pick. I like that it's on our teaser. And I think that's it. Unless you want to grow some balls, Frank, and take that bet with Seattle versus Arizona with me.
Not in your lifetime. Unless you give me that Buffalo bet, then we ain't giving you.
Okay, how about this? I'll take Jets plus 14, and I'll give you Cardinals minus 3.
You can't con.
You want that?
What?
I'll take Cardinals minus 3 and Jets plus 14.
No.
What? Okay, fine. You know what? I tried to be fair. You don't want it.
No, you're fair. Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's wrap this up.
Well, that'll do it for week 9. Week 9 of Let's Be Frank, Mike. Thanks for joining us, and let's cash some tickets, Frank.
Yes, let's do some more. Let's. I just want to roll the whole year. I just want, if I should have a third game, because I'm so far I think I've been picking 2 out of 3 pretty good.
I mean, another week of undefeated. Here we go.
All right, let's go.